Do you hear that? A shift is coming. Psychos and sickos unite for a shifting edition of PHNX Suns presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app, use code PHNX365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. I'm Erik, that's Stephen. We got the Freckled Mamba, aka Slackerton. Is that what we called you earlier? Behind the Mac, making all the magic happen.
That's not what I called you.
You don't like that one? Would you rather me call you Fisherton?
I love Fisherton.
Yeah, I like Fisherton too. His name is Ayrton. He's the Freckle Mamba behind the Mac, making all the magic happen. Bunch of faces in the chat. We got Sora, Big Bear, No Good, Nadal, Zeke, Jeff, another Jeff, aka my dad, Ashley.
Big Jeff.
Everybody, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are less than 24 hours. In fact, we are almost 12 hours away from the PHNX Suns playing basketball yet again, tipping off against the Brooklyn Nets in China. We will, of course, be previewing that game for you here today as a pseudo pregame show. We'll be talking about the NBA's GM survey, what Devin Booker had to say about playing in China and his long offseason, and so much more. But first things first, Steven, how you doing?
Ooh. Last night was rough.
Yeah, that was...
It was A+ basketball, but the way that it ended for the Mercury was a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
We are hoping Satu Sabi is going to be okay. Not the Mercury podcast, but she is out for game 4. And the Mercury are down 0-3. So they need to go and do what they do best and just rise above any adversity that they've been presented with. So Friday's going to be an interesting day. But it starts with the Suns.
It does. And, before we get to the Suns, I talked about this on Southwest Bias with Derek earlier today. And A, if any team's going to come back down from 0-3, it's this team. Mm-hmm. B, this is giving me heavy, like the Suns ran into Giannis vibes. It's like, well, you got a good team, but the other team has Giannis, a.k.a. Asia Wilson, a.k.a. the best player in the world, and that it sucks.
The other part that I had to bring context-wise to last night's show, the consistent part, the consistent theme, the denominator with both of those two, there's a arena name change.
Dude,
mid-season.
Okay. Yeah. You know what?
I'm not leaning into it, but I'm just throwing that out there like that.
Correlation doesn't also mean
happened.
Causation, but in this case
not.
it might.
It does not, but I'm just throwing that out there for any conspiracy theorists that want to delve into that.
Zeke says, don't worry, the Mercury will not trade for Beal next season. I sure hope not.
Yeah, I got to think of a Beal WNBA equivalent, and I'll get back to you on that.
There's no reason to be rude. There's no reason to be mean. Not when we have some good news. We got a lot of people in the chat talking about how they are going to be watching tomorrow's 5 a.m. local time.
I thought about one too.
Tip-off.
Oh, man.
Who?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. Just saying it's a bucket getter that has led the W in scoring before. I'm going to leave it at that.
Not the one that's beating up on the Merc right now.
No.
Okay.
No.
We got good news. We got fun news. A lot of people here saying, of course, they will be up to watch the PHNX Suns. And we know that. And we heard you. And not only will we be doing a post-game show for tomorrow's game, we will be doing a live watch-along. It's breakfast with the boys starting at 5 a.m. local AZ time tomorrow. We will be there, as Freckled Mamba says in the chat. Maybe we'll get some donuts and maybe get some tea, some coffee. And it's going to be breakfast with the boys. How are we feeling about a Friday watch-along post-game show starting at 5 a.m.? That's when you're up, and that's like 2 hours into your day already.
But who? I'm assuming the donuts are being brought from today, because there's not going to be anybody that's open in the morning.
Freckled Mamba's got to get up at 2 a.m.
Well, who's gonna be open?
I think it's a donut shop, so open early.
I'll get it done.
You'll get it done? That's a promise?
Donuts will be there tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm bougie about donuts, and there's one specific brand that has red lettering, and they also have a sign associated with theirs that if you're doing it, it's got to be that.
No free ads.
Then that's why I did not say.
Yeah.
Context clues.
But
you're welcome, Max.
No Good says, figures the day I'm closing at work instead of opening. Listen, we understand some of you will only be able to make it to the post-game show. A lot of people won't be able to make it live, but we still want to be there for those who can, and you can always go back and watch it as well. So we are going to talk about that game here in a second, but first things first, and we recorded a separate video on this that'll be out tonight, audio and video, for all of you. The NBA's annual GM survey came out.
That no one looks forward to.
And I learned something new today, Stephen.
Oh, yeah? What'd you learn?
I learned that Devin Booker isn't a top 5 shooting guard in the NBA.
So, first, he's not a top 20 player at some point this offseason. Now he's not a top 5 shooting guard. What's next? I'm genuinely curious. What's next?
Maybe he's just not a top-tier starter. Maybe he should come off the bench. Okay, so here are the top 5 shooting guards in the NBA according to the GMs, the people who make decisions in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards, number 1 at 70%. All right, whatever. Donovan Mitchell at 13% at number 2. Tied for 3rd, Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
And 5th, Steph Curry. By the way, Luka Doncic voted as the best small forward in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander voted as the best point guard in the NBA. And the 3 that are 3, 4, 5 in this voting are also 1, 2, 3 in the point guard voting. So, Stephen, my question is, what the hell is going on?
Sometimes you don't always have the answers to everything.
It feels like with this one, I don't know if we'll ever find the answers.
Luka plays apparently every position on the court, which I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, Luka's a small forward, point guard, shooting guard, center, power forward, coach, 6th man,
general manager apparently,
popcorn vendor, Porsche driver,
does it all. One of the best clutch players in the league. On top of
dietitian,
all of that, he just does everything.
Dietitian. He was on Hot Ones.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm not gonna even say that; that'd be clipped.
He's the funniest guy in the league. He just does it all.
The top 2 are the top 2, and I get if you're going to value team success, putting Donovan Mitchell there. I know you and I have talked about Mitchell versus Booker. Mm-hmm. If you want to choose one or the other, it is pretty close. Mm-hmm. Is there any world where Devin Booker isn't a top 3 shooting guard in the NBA on his worst day?
Well, if you consider Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a shooting guard, then yes.
But I don't.
So then no.
Okay.
See,
I don't consider Shai, Steph, or Luka. I don't consider any of them shooting guards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're voting for this thing, you should only vote for one player at one position.
Mm-hmm. And like I said on our supplemental video, Shai is a hybrid. I would say for how you performed last season and his usage and the ways he was featured, he's more of a 1 than a 2. But yeah, Devin Booker not being top 3 is
stupid. It's stupid. I mean, listen, we get a little bit more into it in our about 10-minute long, separate video that will be on audio. So I highly encourage people to check that out. Jalen Green was an honorable mention for most likely to have a breakout season in 2025-26 and an honorable mention for most underrated player acquisition as well. Rasheer and Kaman were honorable mentions for biggest steal of the draft. There's some semi-positive things here, and we dive more into it and talk about maybe who we would like to see or would like to see on a list next year. So make sure you check that out, coming out later tonight on our YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and you are here. And if you're listening on audio, it'll be there as well. You can always rate us 5 stars and review. Whole lot of friends in the chat: Michael, Sean, Jeff, Zeke, Trent, Elko, N Stacker, Kaylee, Aiden, Big Bear, Ashley, Jeff Ruby, Elko. I think I might have said Elko. Oh, that's my father, of course. My dad says, by the way, the watch along is at his lunchtime because he's an old man. So tune in for early bird lunch with the boys tomorrow morning. Super excited on that. Anything else on the GM report before we move on and hear from Devin Booker over in China?
Yeah, the Jalen Green getting not the heftiest of staking of claim to votes for players that'll make the most impact as new acquisitions for a team. But for someone that we both have expectations for, there are varying levels of it, but we both have expectations of building off of a season that was his best last year because of the pieces around him and the pieces that he'll be playing with this season. I think that means something, because that means that it's not just us that sees that part of the vision with him in a new team context. Now it's just about how it actually comes to fruition.
There were a couple categories that Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks were snubbed for as well.
Yeah.
We'll make you go check that out in the video. And of course, how could I not shout out Be Entertainment? Always here, always lovely. Listen, Be Entertainment is a diehard, so they deserve a shout out. And Junior Garcia in the chat is a member. You could be a member today just by hitting that join button next to our channel name or next to the subscribe button if you haven't hit that yet, which...
You shout out Be Entertainment. I'm shouting out to Monty Kamara because
shut up, bro.
Justice for that, bro.
Dude,
Dude,
I can't. You almost
can't.
made me say things I'm not allowed to say until overtime, bro. We can't do that.
Shout out to that,
Like,
brother.
I get that you're
Justice
right,
for
and I
him.
don't disagree with you, but like, we can't do that, bro.
Justice for him.
We can't do that.
Justice
Can't
for
do
him.
that over here. You
Justice
can't
for
just
him.
be out here dropping PTSD lines like "shout out to Tumani Kamara," dude. No, I already brought up Giannis on the show. We already talked about finals losses. I don't need to hear about damn Tumani Kamara.
There's an 8-letter word that you need to seek, sir. Counseling.
I was like, where are you going with that? No.
Still getting worked up about Tumani. It's been 2 years.
Dude, you'd be worked up too. You would be.
What you mean? I was as big a fan of his as anybody.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I don't think that's true.
Well, if you did the whole lefty thing with him too, then you got it. You definitely got it.
Dude, I was huge Tumani Kamara guy. Huge. Especially when I heard of him for the first time when the Suns drafted him. I was like, who is this guy? Then I looked into it. I was like, I love this guy. Love this guy a lot. Didn't expect him to do this quickly. But who cares? No, enough.
Dog. See?
Enough.
A dog.
Enough. I get it. Enough.
At some point, we're going to start paying closer attention to defense outside of the box score.
Bro, I'm not saying he's a bad player.
No.
I'm not trying to move on from him because I don't like him as a player. That's actually why I'm trying to move on.
I'm talking to the GMs, not you.
Listen,
I'm
bro.
talking to the GMs.
What up, Lexville? What's up, Bees? How y'all doing?
What's up, everybody? We appreciate y'all.
Man, I can't do it.
Chiming in for
Can we stop?
Eric's Thursday crash out.
Can we stop? That should be a segment.
We're 5 minutes into. It feels like 5 minutes.
Can you make me feel
episode.
better? Can you make me feel better? Can you tell me how much of a must-win tomorrow's game is?
It's not. I cannot help you with that.
Michael Hayashi says, what's shifting? Well, we are going to answer that in a second, but first we're going to hear from Devin Booker before we hit our break here. Book was speaking at the media day that was held out there for the NBA Basketball Without Borders out in China, and he spoke on something that we can all relate to, which is how long this offseason has been, how different it is from last year, and how he feels about it.
Summer, this past summer was too long for my liking without being in the playoffs, so I'm eager to get back to it. I'm excited. Obviously, we've had some changes with the roster. We've had some changes with the coaches. So I think it's a big responsibility for me to just be a leader, continue being a leader, and get everybody on the same page so we can start this thing off the right way.
I'm ready for Book with revenge. I'm excited. I'm ready. I feel like I'm a leader here. I've been here. We've made changes. Like, I'm excited for him to play.
He seems well rested, but also chomping at the bit as far as wanting to get back to building and working towards something. And I think that's something that is a form of leadership because of the daily approach that comes with having that mindset. That's something that, especially if it's coming from the top of a roster, it permeates throughout the rest of the players on there as well. And they're very much embracing the moment and opportunity of taking a trip over to China. But they're clearly not allowing for that to be something that's an excuse for not being up to par in terms of level of play and contextualizing it to what it is that they're working towards as a team. And it was clear from Jordan Ott's statements prior to them leaving and Devin Booker's statements after they landed that they're not using the travel as an excuse. They're locked in.
Well, when it's a must-win critical do-or-die preseason game, too, you can't bring the excuses. You just can't do it. This is what he said about his feeling following the massive plane ride and the benefits this trip presents the team.
I mean, honestly, this time around, I haven't even been jet lagged yet. So the routine is still there. We're enjoying ourselves. I think it's also good to, get the team, away from our normal comfort zone and get on the road together before we start the season. I think it builds a lot of camaraderie, and we can start building chemistry. I'm not saying there's distractions at home, but, we're all here together, and, we're good to do experiences outside of basketball together.
The camaraderie part is so important, and I think that's something that I believe Jalen Green mentioned at Media Day from his Houston years, and what was so important there was how the team grew and built together, and spending this time together, going on these flights, having this unique experience together. It is really important for a team that wants to play the way that they want to play. I mean, we've all played basketball here. When you like the guys you're playing basketball with and you feel like you have this chemistry, you play better basketball. Am I wrong?
Nope, you're right. And in fact, not only do you enjoy it more, but you look forward to it more.
Yeah.
If work doesn't seem like work, you're in a good place. You're in a really good place. That's usually a barometer for it.
I can't wait to relate to that one day. And
it's clear that that's what they're working to establish.
My favorite thing is when you just don't acknowledge what I said. I love it.
I'm good with ignoring things.
I know you are. That's why I got to try even harder. One last thing.
That's not why you have to. But.
One last thing from Devin Booker about how important the NBA's relationship is with China.
I think it's super important. Obviously, we have a big fan base out here in China. We have Chinese players in the NBA, and I think basketball without borders is super important. Being here on their homeland and letting them see us play in person. I think for the youth and, the next generation of Chinese players getting this experience on their land will just, open up their inspiration and, make them feel they have a chance.
And so very important for the community part of what it is the NBA is working to establish internationally. They have great reverence across the entire globe. Being able to reach those markets and not just making the game accessible for them to watch on television, but to also have opportunity to watch at least some of the players that they may be watching on TV in person matters. There's been other teams that have relationships with specific pockets of the world that the NBA has extended opportunity for them to watch them play in their native countries for over the last handful of years. And I think that is important if you're talking about globalizing the game, but also trying to make it more accessible for people. It's cool to be able to watch it over a screen, but what about getting that in-person experience? Because everybody doesn't have the facilities to travel to states and watch games in the multiple cities that are here home side for us.
I mean, sometimes it's hard when it's in your backyard. There are lots of Suns fans who have never had the opportunity to go to games. And games are expensive. Like, let's just be honest.
I was going to say, it's for multiple reasons.
Yep. Games are really expensive for people who are here locally who just have to spend a couple bucks on gas to get there, let alone travel and whatnot. Yep. I think this is really cool and a really cool opportunity. And I think as exciting as it is for them, we're also really excited over here because another basketball game gets played tomorrow. And I know I've been joking about the critical do or die must win, gotta have it preseason games, but have we not all felt, this kind of shift in how we're looking at this team and our feelings about this team and how excited we are because of one game? Like, I think it's not a critical do or die must win, but it is really beneficial to have an exciting basketball game and a win to speak of. So we're going to break down how the Suns can get there, why this is an opportunity to have that thing shift even more tomorrow. And we're just going to do what we do best, which is talk ball. And we're going to do it right after our first break. Rally House, Rally House, Rally House. If 3 different people asked me the best place to get my local sports gear, that would be my answer every single time because it's the go-to spot for all your favorite local Arizona team gear with tens of thousands of products to shop from. Let me say that again. Tens of thousands in locations in Tempe, Mesa, Glendale. You can head out there today, look in person, see the right fit, see what stands out to you, or you can go to rallyhouse.com and search their hundreds of pages of products, including not just, of course, your shirts and your hats and your shorts, but drinkware, signage, coolers, socks. Hell, they even have sunscreen. And that's perfect here. They have everything at Rally House. Whatever you're looking for to up your game day, shop with Rally House. They don't have any outsider teams, no, and I won't take any shots at yours. I'll just praise mine.
My business.
Find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at www.rallyhouse.com today. And today I will stop at Circle K, because Circle K is the best place to go, whether I need a meal deal or maybe a $3 meal deal, get myself a hot dog, some chips, and a Polar Pop, a $4 meal deal, whether it's a Circle K breakfast sandwich, a hash brown, and of course, again, a Polar Pop, or a $5 meal deal, 2 slices of pizza, any 20-ounce soda, or Polar Pop. And guess what? You can get all sorts of deals like that and exclusive deals if you're a member of the Inner Circle, like a 79-cent Polar Pop, a 99-cent Froster, 3 for $5 Gatorades, or visit once and save 10 cents per gallon. Like, you can do a lot with the Inner Circle membership, but you don't have to pay a dime to be in it. All you have to do is download the Circle K app and put in your email and your phone number, and boom, automatically you are a member of the Inner Circle. So join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. A big shout out to a big crowd here on a Thursday, live in the chat, watching on YouTube after the fact, and of course listening on audio. Of course, the housekeeping like button, subscribe button, the join button, the 5-star review button, all that is awesome. We have a new saying in chat: SMW, Suns must win. And we got people saying there's no way this is a must win.
I got one too. NOPE. That's not what we doing. That is not what we doing.
SMW, I love it. Suns must win. It's great. Listen, we're just having fun. Isn't it nice to have fun?
Yes.
Again, Stephen. Before we go, is Freckled Mama spamming it in the chat. I love it. Before we go and actually like get down to the nitty gritty of basketball, I want to look at like an overarching perspective. Let's put like the must win jokes, because they are jokes aside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I say that there's an opportunity for something that is about to shift with the Phoenix Suns, one game is great, right? That feeling we had, one game is great. How quickly will that go out the window if all these things that we were praising about playing with principle, defensive hustle and energy, taking 3-pointers, all of that goes out the window in game 2, right? You're not going to be completely out on the team, but you're going to be like, well, why the hell could you do it in one game but not another?
Mm-hmm.
For today, or for tomorrow, I guess, something could shift is where you follow up and do the same exact thing. And you prove the consistency of it as much as you can through 2 games. And it becomes less of like a, hey, we are excited because of the prospect of this, and more like, okay, like maybe this is real.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying with that. I just don't know. Like, I think it matters for me less about the final result and more about just kind of what things are looking like.
Sure.
Some things were a little sloppy. We'll get to my keys, but one of the loudest things was the amount of fouls that they conceded to the Lakers. There's no way to build a sustainably successful defense if you're a team that fouls, because you're in turn keeping them from the free throw line, scoring with the shot clock stopped, but also allowing for them to keep their defense set. So that's going to be one kind of barometer that I'm looking at with it. But it's like little things within the game like that. Mm-hmm. Is their switching sharp still? Is their communication sharp defensively still? Are they still moving the basketball? Are they knocking down the threes that they're able to generate and create off of the principles that they're playing off of? Like, a lot of those little things is what I'm kind of looking for. Is because it's less about the win-loss record for me, I can find a little more gray area for them to operate in and still find positives to take.
But even putting aside the win and loss, but like I said, like if they just show up and play like they did before, because we don't think because of the way they're going to play in game 1 of the preseason, or if they play like this all season, that they're going to win 82 games, right? But you're right, like the process. I think one of the fun things that like I kind of remember, especially like when I'm playing basketball, is like listening to JJ Redick before he became the Devil and coached the Lakers on his podcast, talking about when he would shoot.
No. It's not the Lakers part. It's the use of AI part. But
yeah, both.
Leave that.
Both, yeah.
Leave that alone.
I mean,
JJ
Redick was great
bruh.
until he went to the Lakers. I'll just say that.
What was it, the Luka of it all?
Well, don't
He
even
just
get me started.
tripled down.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, yeah, there was a comment earlier that was very funny. You know who you are. JJ Redick was talking about when he's shooting, he doesn't measure makes and misses. He measures how it felt when he shot it. Because he knows that if he followed the process and he felt good when he shot the most, that was going to lend to the best results. As long as we can leave tomorrow morning's game, which we will be doing a watch-along and a post-game show for those of you who missed, as long as we can leave that game saying the same things that we said after game one, I'll be okay. Because it is preseason. Everything's made up. The results don't matter. But I want to see that process, and I want to see like this click, right? Like they're taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think we should take it seriously as well, because the Suns are treating this preseason like an opportunity, right? And if they go in there, and listen, the Nets are going to be bad. They are a bad basketball team. They are not good.
Shout out Nate Claxton, though.
Yeah. He's a fine player. They drafted 5 rookies in the first round.
They did, at every position.
Like, they're not good. They're not good. You need to go in there. I think you got to win tomorrow. Not that I'm going to like cry if you don't, but play hard, play good. You should win, especially if Devin Booker's playing. We don't have Jalen Green status yet. We know Mark Williams isn't playing, but other than that, like everybody else should be playing from everything that we've heard.
These guys too, like they want to win in front of these fans that are international. Like you heard Booker talk about it. Like this isn't the same as playing the Lakers in Palm Springs or wherever they played. Like these guys want to show off and gain more fans for themselves and for the team.
Yeah. It's not like a normal preseason game. There's a lot of like pomp and circumstances around this. They have the pop-up. They have a whole media day. It's got to feel at least a little bit more important, Stephen.
I mean, yeah, it is for sure. I wanted to I think it's less about like saying the same things. I think you want to find at least marginal growth with it too. And that's why I'm kind of trying to gauge it specific to certain things. But also, like, the other part of it is, what if the starters only play in the first half and they don't play in the third quarter?
Sure.
And it's like, you know, like, you got to, it's varying. You got to kind of gauge it back and forth based off of that part. But yeah, I think it's genuinely going to be a good experience. I think it's something that they're clearly looking forward to and looking forward to taking advantage of. They're seeing it as an opportunity, like a stepping stone for sure.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about basketball. Let's get to what we'll do for every pregame show here this season and get to your keys of the game. Stephen, what are the 3 things that you're looking for in preseason game 2, Suns, Nets, and Macao, China?
Yeah, key number 1, applying pressure, but doing so without fouling defensively. That part is as important as anything, because what good is your pressure if you're continuously in foul trouble and doing so in an inopportune fashion. Key number 2 for me, letting it fly, but doing so within your process offensively. You want to get up threes, but you want to get up threes in a healthy manner, not self-created ones, catch and shoot ones because of your movement and your paint touches in succession with one another. And then the last one for me is get the young guys some run. We didn't see any of Kobe Brea. We saw a little bit of Malawach and a little bit of Fleming. You want to see those guys in addition to a few others, an Isaiah Livers type guy, is getting some run. Seeing what they got.
Yeah. I like your first point, and I kind of want to hone in on the fouling part of it. It's very funny. Dwayne Rankin, of course, over at AZ Central, has a quote about the Suns' defensive approach from Devin Booker saying, quote, "You can't call 90 fouls. We want to play, as the coach has talked about. We want to play the limit, and once we have the officials in here, we're able to go and go and go, and too much? Okay, cool." So basically the Suns are saying, we're going to foul.
Right, who's the quote from?
Book.
Nigel Hayes Davis said verbatim the exact same
thing. Oh, then maybe it's Nigel Hayes.
He
didn't say who said it, but he had a video of Book in the video. And it might have been Nigel.
He may have said the same things, but it might be a shared vision thing that they're kind of the parameters that they're working off of. But yeah, Nigel Hayes,
it was Nigel. Yeah, you can't call 90. You can't call 90 fouls. We want to play, as the coaches have talked about. We want to play to the limit.
He said the exact same thing to me. Was it 2 weeks ago? I think.
Yeah,
at this point?
yeah. Then it must have just been a quote that Dwayne was pulling for from earlier. Nigel also talked about wanting to establish an identity. And it's something that's a very real thing. Talked about how refs are human, and it's real, Stephen. Like, you know, Draymond Green gets a reputation where he gets away with a lot of stuff, even technicals, right? The best defenders in the NBA, they have to earn a reputation. They have to earn this kind of benefit of the doubt from the refs. And yeah, when they kind of put them in a box, they don't call fouls all the time. As a team, once you get that reputation, like that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's just like an offensive player earning a certain type of whistle. You can complain about it, but you get that whistle based off of the merits of officials having conversations and looking at film and saying, oh, guys just can't stay in front of this person. They can't guard this person without fouling. So certain things are going to be anticipated coming into a matchup with Jokic because they know people have to be physical with him. Because if he's not, he's getting whatever he wants and he's dropping quadruple doubles. So you're going to be over physical and there's going to be fouls called because of that. Similarly, on the other end, they're looking at film of Draymond like, okay, this guy's involved in a lot of actions. He's guarding all 5 players on the court. He's doing every single responsibility on the defensive end. Low man, point of attack, 1 pass away in denial, all of this other stuff. But he's not doing this stuff in fouling. And that gives you a little bit of gray area to work in. And that's that sweet spot you want to have as a defender. Because if you're constantly getting fouls and you want to apply pressure, that's no fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I talk about with Ryan Dunn and his process.
Well, think about what Alex Caruso got away with in the NBA playoffs last year, right? Lugan Stort, what does he get away with all the time? You know, Jeff in the chat says, doesn't Dylan Brooks already have that rep? Yeah, he does. But it's different to have an individual player versus a team, right? And Ryan Dunn is somebody who has really been a little bit prone to foul in his career so far. And a lot of it are fouls, right?
Yeah.
And so some of it's fouls that even if you have a good reputation, they're going to call, especially if you're guarding a Luka or a Shea.
That's the other part of it.
You know. But again, knowing when to pick your spots and knowing when to be physical, when not to be physical and everything like that will be really important for the team as a whole. And hopefully Dylan Brooks can help kind of install that mentality and give the Suns the benefit of the doubt. We'll have to see. I think that's something that develops over the year, but I would like to see improvement on that as well. What was your second key again? Because I want to go key by key here. Let it fly in process. So take your threes, but don't force your threes.
Take your threes, don't force them, but you want to create them in a flow. So talked about the spacing for the Suns and that process and starting to see that foundation come to fruition in preseason game 1. You want to continue to generate those. You want to find ways to get paint touches even off, independent of those principles, and just continuing to create. Just kind of massage the game, get a feel for how teams are starting to try to guard you all, and then starting to counterpunch and starting to lay that as a foundation. So there's continuously less thinking, there's more read and react.
Yeah. Especially for certain players with how they're being set up for threes as well. And I feel like they did a pretty good job in that, especially some of the bench guys. I felt like they were not, too hesitant to fire up threes. Would like to see some of them maybe hit some more of them like a Nigel Hayes-Davis, but I like that for sure. I really do. And the last one, get the young guys some runs. Somebody asked, why isn't Kobe Brea playing? I do think the Suns are saving some of the guys that are on guaranteed lower end contracts like Kobe, like Isaiah, like CJ for Tuesday's game because they fly back from China and then like 48 hours later, not even, like 36 hours later, they have a preseason finale against the Lakers. I don't think any of your starters are playing in that one. And also like this time of year, Stephen, you got to give looks, or I guess a lot of teams do give looks to the guys who are trying to earn roster spots. That's why Jared Butler got a lot of run. But I would like to see come on in a little bit more at minimum, and then Rasheer and Kobe in that order as far as who I want to see get minutes. But if you're going to pick a rookie to not get minutes, I guess it would be Kobe, right?
For sure. Yeah, and to your point, if Mark Williams is not playing, I would definitely like to see Kaman Malawatch.
Especially with if Book's playing, I'd like to see Kaman with an elite level guard. Right, because when Kaman was playing, it was Jordan Goodwin, it was Jared Butler. I don't know if Colin Gillespie, I think, played with Kaman a little bit as well. I'd like to see Kaman with an elite level playmaker table setter. I think because he caught a lob from Jared Butler, but Jared Butler also had 5 turnovers. I'd like to see that pairing for at least Kaman's sake sometime in this preseason. Play with some better players around him.
I agree. I would like to as well.
I'm really excited for this game for a lot of reasons, and I do have a player to watch, and I'm going to give you my player to watch for the game. We're going to do our predictions for the game, and we'll talk about other news and notes that we need to know about the Brooklyn Nets and about the Phoenix Suns facing off in China. We're going to do it right after our final break. Mount America Credit Union is the exclusive home of the Suns and the Mercury card, and you can get these elite cards from the official credit union of course, the Phoenix Suns. Available as both a debit and a credit card. You can pair the Suns debit card with a MyStyle checking account, and you know what you get at this point, but I'm going to read it off anyway. Restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and so much more. Or if you don't want to do the debit card portion of the Suns card, you can do the credit card portion. No annual fees on a low rate, cashback, or rewards card option. At the end of the day, Mount America is here to guide you forward on your financial journey and help you pick the right card for you, your spending habits, your lifestyle, your salary, whatever it is. Mount America is here to help you out. So go get your Suns card, go get your Mercury card today, rep your local teams, and apply at any Arizona branch. Visit macu.com/Suns to learn more. Insured by NCUA, terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans are on approved credit. And I approve of Gila River Resorts and Casinos, not just because we do our watch parties there, not just because there will be a Cardinals away watch party there this Sunday, but also because literally no one does it better at all other aspects of entertainment. From Wild Horse Pass to Lone Butte to Vicuiva to Santan Mountain, you can lounge at their resorts, you can eat at their amazing restaurants, they're upscale to approachable, casual to classy, bar to bar none, or you could just go have some fun on the state-of-the-art gaming floor with over 4,500 slots and live table games, and of course, they have a sports book as well that you can catch all of the action. It's an unprecedented level of entertainment and excitement that you won't find anywhere else in the desert. They've set a high bar, but they always continue to pass it every single time. They have amazing live events from music to live podcasts to live comedy shows. They do everything at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Just make sure you do you. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, visit playatgila.com for more details. And make sure you visit Anthony Totri and I out next Friday at Rally House for an ASU live show at 5:30 p.m. at Tempe Marketplace. We'll be giving away $50 gift cards for Rally House. Really exciting stuff the day before they take on Texas Tech, a top 10 team in the country. Join Totri, Shane, and myself for a 5:30 p.m. live show from Tempe Marketplace on a Friday night. Come get some free merch and win a gift card. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, including my father, who sends a $4.99 super chat and says, a little early, but what is success for this Suns season?
For the season?
Yeah, for the season.
You want to have an identity established both on offense and defense. You want to have seen them be met with resistance and adversity, trying to get to said process on both ends of the floor, and them finding ways to continuously get back ahead of an opponent for trying to take things away from them on both ends of the floor. You want to have an idea of what it is that Jordan Knott is as a head coach. Is he someone that can motivate his players off of the buy-in that he's established? Mm-hmm. Is he someone that's going to be heavy on tacticianship and game management? Is he a coach that can expand on those things while also staying true to his roots and skill development and getting guys better over the course of a season? I think those are some of the little things that I'm looking forward to.
I think you can put things in a lot of different categories.
Sure.
I do think that you're going to have to go over on your usually predicted 31.5 over under for the season to be considered a success. I don't know if you can win 30 or under games to consider the season a success, even if you see some stuff in the process. Like there could be individual successes, but if we're looking at it from an umbrella perspective, I think if you can get close to the 40s, and maybe be like a fringe play-in team or in the play-in while having fun, while establishing an identity. Devin Booker plays the best basketball of his career. All these things are great, right? At the end of the day, let's just have fun. Just have a good time. And I like that. I like that that's the bar. And that was the bar in preseason. It's why preseason kind of matters because, hey, let's just have fun again. And last Friday was fun. It just was. I hope tomorrow morning's fun because we're doing a damn watch-along at 5 a.m., but it's fun. Basketball is fun, and that's all that I really need. You want to hear my player to watch for the game?
I was going to ask you a question.
You can go ahead and do that.
With Jordan and Freckle Mamba, this would be for you too, Ayrton.
Slacker.
Looking at if Jordan having this well-respected reverence from the skill development and film room background, who are you looking for his impact to resonate most with?
Jalen Green.
In this first season. Jalen Green for you.
Highest ceiling out of all the guys that I think he could impact.
I think I am so delusional about Oso. It's got to be Oso for me, especially with Ott's connection with the double bigs in Cleveland last year. I can't help but salivate thinking about what he can do with Oso.
Freckled Mamba knows ball. What about you?
It was Jalen for me, but I also say Mark Williams as well. And I say that with a close eye engaged because he has a lot of potential that hasn't been dipped into yet. Obviously, some of that is because of his availability, but you would like to see both of those two continue to build off of what already precedes them coming into this season.
Yeah, I think Ryan Dunn is also somebody that can go in that category. Any of these young guys that have clear, discernible weaknesses, but also have a ton of upside, those are the type of players that coaches like Jordan Ott should, in theory, hopefully, be pretty helpful for. Do you know who my player to watch is? Did you see who it is?
I did.
Okay, I was going to ask you to guess.
So no, I can't play dumb for you. Sorry.
Grayson Allen. Movement. I feel like when I go back and watch the tape of this game, because I will be in the days at 5 a.m., I'm literally just going to take plays and just watch Grayson Allen. Just watch him move around the court on both sides of the ball, which leads to my next point, which is defensive intensity. And then my third one, which is playmaking and initiation. But let's start up at the top and why Grayson Allen is my player to watch. I saw him maybe stand still for half of a second in that first preseason game. He was always moving, and we see it with some of the best three-point shooters out there. They're always moving and putting pressure on the defense. Intentional movement was also kind of how I wanted to phrase that, but I figured movement would be more fun. How important is that for a guy like Grayson Allen to bring to this team?
I mean, it's very important, and it's what I kind of spoke to, the marriage in principles and habits from outside with things that Grayson Allen already did as an individual process in his son's tenure. And that's a lot of movement, a lot of cutting, a lot of processing what it is that a defense is trying to do to the person that's on the ball, what action it is that they're trying to get into, and how he can help manipulate that. One of the things that I enjoyed a lot. I talked about the actions they were getting into with Devin Booker being something that we've seen before. Some of the things that came from the Kevin Young era, Jordan Ott already has at his foundation, playing through the elbows with Devin Booker. Another piece to that, not necessarily always with Booker, but it can obviously include him in multiple roles. Span, pick, and roll. And not just Grayson being the back screener in that, but Grayson also being a handler in that. We saw him in that action with and alternating positions with Colin Gillespie. And I thought that was a lot of fun because that's a tandem group guard-wise that might spend some time on the floor together. There's some fun stuff you can get into, and I think they're already starting to get that going.
The next point for Grayson Allen is the defensive intensity. Defensive intensity over a sustained period of time, because he always had the effort, right? He always put in the work. He always was trying, but sometimes it just felt like he didn't have the body type, the quickness, the lateral speed, the foot movement to keep up with guys. There are guys on the Brooklyn Nets that love to ISO. Love it. Cam Thomas loves to ISO. He's going to be shifty. Grayson Allen's going to be guarding him. I don't know if Cam Thomas is playing in this game, but Grayson Allen's going to be guarding him. Michael Porter Jr. likes to ISO as well, or at least take catch and shoots, but doesn't move as much. Like, there's a lot of different types of players that Grayson Allen is probably going to have to guard as that kind of tweener guard forward role, and presumably starting again unless Jalen Green does play. I want to make sure that he's bringing that defensive intensity all the time, because if he's always moving on offense and he's always intense on defense, that raises his floor and his baseline so much.
It does, and I think he has a certain ceiling on the defensive end of the floor. But I think because of the personnel they have to insulate him, especially from a rim protection perspective, it allows for him to be more aggressive and kind of take some more risks and more chances, but also be okay getting blown by and know that it's not going to completely distort what it is they're trying to do defensively because they have him covered on the back end.
Which is why defensive intensity is the way I put it, not lockdown defense. Right? I don't need Grayson Allen to be a lockdown defender. The last point that I put there was play initiation or playmaking. If he's starting at shooting guard, right, he should be really the secondary creator on offense in that starting lineup with the ball in his hands. Will he drive downhill and maybe get some dump-off passes? Will he be able to play make and assist him? That also is something that if Grayson Allen can do that over the entirety of a year, especially coming off the bench in a second unit, if he is the sixth man, like it would really help this team a lot. And with this team's emphasis and focus on ball movement, to have Booker, Green, and Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie being able to do that instead of just having 3 or 2 guys being able to do that, that'd be pretty massive.
Yeah, I agree. That's what's gonna make this team unique because they have multiple pieces that can do multiple things, and that goes for both ends of the floor at all positions as well. That kind of positional versatility, if you will, is something they can kind of lean into. And we talked about it as one of the things that I took away on Monday from the preseason game over the weekend, and that was multiple creators, multiple initiators of offense. All 5 players that started for the Suns had at least 3 or 4 possessions where they initiated offense, and it wasn't off of a missed shot. It was off of inbounding it with intention to this guy to get us into a set.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what Grayson Allen can do. I really do. On the Brooklyn Nets side of things, who should Suns fans be, I guess, looking out for? What's kind of your takeaway from their offseason and everything of that nature?
I mean, just a bunch of rookies. So they're in very much a developmental phase right now. I'm curious how they're going to balance some of the – they don't have, like, heavy double-digit year vets on their roster, but
Do they have any?
They have – no. But they have players that have been in the league for a few years, and when you counterbalance that with a bunch of young players, those guys that are younger seem like vets because they're the only few pieces that have been there before. So how they balance that out, the younger guys versus the quote unquote vets for themselves.
It's like dog years. It's like 1 year playing for the Brooklyn Nets is like 7 years of toll on your NBA brain because of how just dog awful they are.
It feels like Nick Claxton's been in the league forever. He's 26.
Yeah, he's gonna be like 26.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome, Kaylee, to the MVPs. Now you can spam, of course, all the different types of emojis in chat. We need a.
I think she was in the chat asking earlier where these emojis are coming from. We got like how many members in the chat?
Oh,
throw like a hands up emoji in the chat if you're a member. We just want to kind of count how many we got.
I'll say this: we need another Suns emoji. I think we've added enough. It's time. It's time to add a new Suns emoji. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, you have ASU emojis, Mighty Mercury emojis, Cardinals emojis, D-backs emojis, and Wildcats emojis. Sorry, Sean. I'm excited for tomorrow's game. Do you have any final thoughts before we get to our predictions?
The Oso Iguodala inverted pick and rolls have my attention. I mentioned them for quite some time. We saw them obviously in Summer League as well. I think they'll need to improve their process into getting that guard that's coming up the floor to screen for him as far as the location of that happening and the angles within that. I am intrigued. I don't know if they scored directly off of either of the couple of possessions they did in preseason game 1, but they got a positive result, which was him getting to the free throw line because of the drive that he was able to get because of the action that they're running for him.
Aiden kind of beefing with you in the chat, Loki. He says this MFer in his inverted pick and roll.
I mean, it's the hardest action to guard as far as when you're putting bigs in a position like that.
Well, and I think when you have Oso,
look at all the best teams in the league outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Almost every team in the league has an iteration of that. Denver has it. The Pacers had it last season with Siakam. Houston had it with Şengün, and now they got it with KD on top of that. We can keep going down this list.
Aiden wins a couple Ottles, starts talking like he owns the place.
Right, man. Aiden, take that bass out your voice, man.
Oh, Aiden says, "I'll love Stephen. You're right. It's just funny as hell."
I mean, it's one of the hardest actions to guard. I feel like LeBron and JJ talked about it on their podcast too.
Did AI write the script for that podcast? By the way, speaking of AI, did you see Stephen A. Smith tell Allen Iverson he needs to wear more suits now that he's older? You see that?
He's the last person that should be telling people what someone else should be doing more of, whatever it is that they want to do.
Or how somebody should be dressing.
Knock it off. Because the first thing I'm going to say is mind your business.
We will have some Ottle news here in a second.
Worry about another grown man's what he wears on a daily basis.
We'll get
crazy.
that. Mohammed asked, do we have the assets to get Giannis? No. We have the salary, I guess.
Few teams have the assets to go and get Giannis, so that's not even like an indictment against the Suns.
Yeah, you don't have like any first-round picks. So, yeah. Everybody's
Nadal, he's the Feds. That's who he is.
Stephen
at this
A?
point. Yes.
Yeah. I will say, I think the only funny thing that Stephen A has ever done is when he called out Jason Whitlock.
Of course.
He said
that was
low
low hanging fruit though. Very easy to get that one. I can't even give him full credit for it. But yes, I do agree that was funny for sure.
Sean says, my friend met Stephen A. at the ESPYs like a decade ago. Said the guy was a prick. At least he's consistent? Question mark. Oh, Jackie says, just because you talk loud don't mean you're right, Stephen A. SMH, AI should wear a suit and cross him up. Wait, just because you're loud doesn't mean you're right?
I knew somebody was going to do it. I didn't know it was going to be you.
Oh, man. Crap. Oh, my God. I have to reevaluate everything. Shoot. I don't even know what to do. Why should I even give my score prediction now? What if I just started whispering?
Aiden, thank you.
PHNX ASMR.
I wish I would be playing solitaire on my phone during a finals game that I got to go.
Dude,
man,
crazy.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
Before we keep on bagging on
I'm going to leave it
A.
alone. I got a lot to say. I'm going to leave it alone.
Oh, Steven. Not A. Smith, but Steven PG.
Yeah.
3 on Twitter. What's your score prediction? What's your prediction for tomorrow?
Let's go. Because I don't know how many minutes the starters are going to play or the main rotation players will play. Let's go modest 106 to 91. Suns win.
I like it. What's the score at halftime?
Oh. If the Suns are getting 106, and I imagine there's a lot of reserves playing in the second half, let's say 57.
Okay. Zeke asked for starting lineup predictions. We'll do that in a second. Give me 117 to 102, but the Nets win the second half by 15 points. I think the starters put a whooping on them, and then they rest them. They put on a show for everybody out there in China, and they said, we're done. It's come on Mala watch time. Aiden says Book's getting 40 at half, I'm telling you.
I have no clue how the Nets offense is going to operate.
I don't think they know either.
Shooting-wise, I'm looking at the roster, and I'm like,
Michael Porter Jr. is going to take like 40 shots a game, and Cam Thomas is going to take the other 40.
Could.
Anyways. Do we think it's going to be Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, Dylan Brooks, Oso Ighodaro again as the starting lineup? I'd kind of be shocked if it wasn't.
Imagine this the same. Yeah, I would imagine it's the same at this point until Mr. Williams comes through.
Yeah, and which we don't expect Mark Williams to play in the preseason. We don't know if Jalen Green's playing. I haven't heard anything. Have you? Have you seen anything?
It seems like he's going to play in one of the 2 games in China.
I wonder if maybe they save him for that second game and maybe they rest somebody in that other game. But I don't see anything about him.
One thing I can guarantee is I believe Devin Booker is going to be playing in both games. Now, he might vary in minutes in one compared to another, but they won't have one of their marquee players not playing when he's healthy.
According to a writer for Basketball News, Mon Anthony Valmoria, who is in China, says Jalen Green hopes to play his first preseason game after missing the first one back in the U.S. We'll see.
I think he plays in one of the 2.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope he does. It'd be nice to see him and the whole starting lineup together. If Jalen Green starts, do you still keep Oso in the starting lineup?
Oh, yeah. You don't need to change the front court for that.
I don't think you need to change
I think you just put
either.
Grayson back in the kind of deemed role that you wanted to have him in.
I think underrated duo for this team this season is going to be Oso and Jalen Green. Big to small lobs, backdoor cuts, pushing the ball in a fast break and finding Jalen Green up ahead. And I feel like that's going to be really fun. Also, underrated great part about the Brooklyn Nets playing in China is that it gives their players a head start to learn the language when they end up there in 3 years.
You said that, not me.
I did say
Eric
that.
Ruby.
Any last thoughts on the preseason game? Freckled Mamba, what's your score prediction?
I do not think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be 91 to 98 Suns win.
Okay.
Who's playing defense on the Nets?
The same people playing offense for the Nets.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm just double checking over who was starting for the Brooklyn Nets in their first preseason game. So their starting lineup, and they went against Hapoel Jerusalem.
Okay.
So they won that game 123 to 88. Ben Seraph, Cam Thomas, Terrence Mann, Michael Porter Jr., Nick Claxton. Not a bad starting five on paper. In said game, Terrence Mann.
I'm going to be – that's a bad starting five on paper. Ben Seraph, Cam Thomas, Terrence Mann, Michael Porter Jr., and Nick Claxton.
In respect to what's kind of being expected from the team, is what I'm getting at.
It's their best lineup.
Because we're looking at them as a bottom-dwelling
There
type
are
of
a couple
team,
NBA players in that lineup.
and that's my thing. Yeah. And then in said game, Michael Porter Jr., 13 points in 17 minutes. Nick Claxton, 11 and 15. Terrence Mann, 15 and 19. Cam Thomas, 8 and 17. Ben Seraph, 9 and 18. So they didn't play much. They got 123 points.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
Crazy comment, Aiden. Crazy comment. Who leads the Nets in assists per game this year?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
It's probably Ben Seraph because he's the most willing passer of their starting five.
Sleeper Danny Wolf.
Is he going to play enough to get that, though? Is the question.
Probably. Who else is playing? Who else is playing? All 5 of their first-round picks are going to play once Devin is
Jalen Smith, E.J. Liddell.
Suns legend E.J. Liddell.
They got some. They got Noah Traore. They got some guys. That
they got Noah Traore. Oh, let me change my entire opinion on the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm sorry. I actually enjoy some of these teams that aren't the most endearing for people to be wanting to watch.
I said I'm in on Washington Wizards ball this year, okay?
You didn't say you was in on Brooklyn Nets, though.
Because I'm not.
There's levels to
Dude, there's a difference. I think the Wizards are going to play way more ethical hoops than the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas are your 1 and your 2 option. Michael Porter Jr., they're going to put him on a podcast over there, and they're not going to let him back in the country. That guy is stupid.
I have no comment.
That guy is stupid.
Yeah, he's not the sharpest crayon in the box for sure.
He certainly is a grand though, not a pen or a pencil. I am a sneaky believer in Cam Thomas. I kind of like how direct he's been with guys who are like, oh, I just believe that you're a scorer or whatever. You don't make your teammates better. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the FU attitude of him.
The older I get, the more I appreciate the high volume shooters because people think it's just throwing up shots, but there's a work ethic that has to come with being able to take that amount of shots and being willing to take that amount of shots, even if there's not a lot that are going in at times. Even bad teams have a number 1 option.
I just think it's kind of a weird move. The NBA needs to reestablish themselves in China for reasons we won't talk about on the show. And they send the worst team in the association out there to play basketball. And I see better hoops at the Chinese Basketball Association, the CBA, than I do with seeing Ben Seraph starting point guard. Like, what are we doing? Never mind. They have Noah Traore.
You think Brooklyn's going to be the worst team again this year?
It's between Brooklyn and Utah. I think it's just between Brooklyn and Utah. I'm a Wizards believer. I'm a Wizards truther.
What happens with Larry Markkinen?
Yeah.
And what they get in return or what they don't get in return.
Dude,
I'm in on the Wizards.
I'm in on the Wizards.
No, the Wizards are going to be good.
So I have a question for you that one of my favorite NBA podcasts talked about. I'm going to ask you that. We'll play a round of Ottle. We'll clear up the Ottle controversy, but we're going to do it in overtime. If you're watching on TV, the party always continues over at gophnx.com. Just a reminder for everybody as we're resetting a little bit here on PHNX Suns, a couple more people filing into this live stream. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., the Phoenix Suns tip off against the Brooklyn Nets in China. We will be doing a live watch-along. That's right. We'll be doing a live watch-along at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. tomorrow, and then into a post-game show right afterwards. So we're going to make it worth your while if you do wake up and decide to watch the Suns. We will be there for you. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel. You have notifications on so you know when we're going live. 5 o'clock, and then right after the final game tomorrow. Okay. This was a question that was brought up on the No Dunks podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins a race? Just straight line back and forth down the court, okay, on the Utah Jazz. Kyle Anderson, George Niang, Yusuf Nurkic, and Kevin Love. Possibly the slowest 4-man race in the NBA.
It's either Kyle Anderson or Yusuf Nurkic.
You think Yusuf Nurkic is faster than George Niang?
Mm-hmm. If you're talking about running in a straight line, if you're talking about lateral slides, that's different. But a straight line running back and forth, It's gonna be between Nurk and Kyle Anderson, slow mo.
The guy named Slow-Mo.
But I got slow mo winning it. Though.
What do you think, Ayrton?
Unfortunately, I think that it's Nurkic as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Nurkic ends up in last. His coach in Eurobasket literally said he can't run. That happened this summer. He said that guy cannot run. He's not able to run. You have to turn around and come back. That turnaround is going to cost Yusuf Nurkic like 5 seconds. Jackie Daytona says, where can I watch the game? I believe it's going to be broadcasted on Arizona's Family, like all the other Suns games. You can watch it
here on PHNX.
Well, you can watch the watch along. We're not going to broadcast the game. We're not going to lie to you so you can do that.
True.
B says Niang can scoot, bro. I do think it's George Niang. I don't think he could scoot. I think that is a little bit of a overstatement. Okay. So that was that question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we good with everything we've talked about today before we get into a little Ottle?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Ayrton, last time we did Ottle, there was some controversy. Can you clear up for the people what this controversy is and what the final decision is?
Yes. So a little backstory on the controversy. We started Ottle. It was a little brainchild of mine. I did not expect people to love it and it to become so intense, but here we are. I expected the first 2 rounds to just be like, let's get to know it, but Stephen did the unthinkable and got it on the first try, and that sparked a whole debate of we can't erase history.
We could.
In Ottle.
Many people do.
Many people do. Before we get into the final verdict of the decision, I do want to make an announcement that because Aiden is so good at this game, chat does have their own place on the leaderboard.
Way.
And we got to decide how chat works in this game. If chat answers before you guys, do they get the points and you don't, or are they on a separate leaderboard?
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with this is that chat has the internet and each other. And I'm not saying that Aiden cheats. I'm not saying that. I want it quoted. I'm not saying that Aiden cheats.
Says it, then doesn't.
However, I know, listen, we got like 100 people in chat right now. Somebody will. Just to get the points.
Okay, so with that in mind, I think what we're going to do is we are still going to keep track of the points that chat comes up with, but it will not be trumping your guys' points.
Okay.
So if they get it first, you guys can still go all the way down to 1 and get your points, but Aiden and the squad will get 4 points for that. You guys cool with that?
Well, Nadal says, Eric, you have Stephen, bro, is the basketball king. We're competing against each other. I have nobody but myself. On the internet, I don't have Stephen. I don't have Ayrton, who's changing the rules to help benefit the guy who knows ball. Anyway, let's do it. Let's play a little Ottle, okay?
All right, here is the updated leaderboard, and I can go through it with you guys. If you guys are not feeling the points I came up with, I went back and watched all our rounds of Ottle and tallied them up. But here's the official Ottle leaderboard. Steven with 8 points, Eric with 0 points, Aiden in the chat with 6 points.
And I love how the game that I'm actually good at, we're not counting the points for that one. I love that. Really love that.
We're still figuring out if that's
really love how all this is working out for your boy. All right, let's go.
You need some Kleenex for your tears?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got any?
Ayrton, you got any Kleenex back there?
Unfortunately, no.
He said use your shirt.
You know what? It's the pity party's over. It's time to go on a run. Let's do this. Let's freaking do this. Whoa.
All right. Here we go. First question. In my 2 seasons as a Sun, I averaged 6.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, 1.1 block in 22.2 minutes per game.
Can you hide the chat from our end?
Yeah.
Possible.
Miles Plumlee.
22.2 minutes.
It is Miles Plumlee.
Come on!
There you go. Good job.
Come on!
Good job.
Dab me up.
Competition.
Dab me up.
It's competition.
Come on, chat.
Good
Fire
job,
me
though.
up. Fire me up. Who's back? I'm back. I know Miles Plumlee ball.
He does.
I know Miles Plumlee ball. Who's back? I'm back. Instantly. All right, next one.
That was a good one.
We're going to do 2? We got 2 today?
Mm-hmm.
God, I killed you guys. You should show us the answer to the old ones. I mean, if we only got one loaded up, I'm fine with it.
Here we go. Next one.
Okay.
Question for the most points. I was once in a romantic relationship with Amber Rose.
Chris Humphries.
Not Chris Humphries.
Oh, that was a Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
God, wasn't it somebody random?
Shannon Brown.
It was not Shannon Brown.
Okay.
Oh, no. He was with an R&B singer.
Moving on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball related this time.
Whoa.
My Phoenix Suns career averages are 21.4 points per game, 8.9 rebounds
Amari
per game.
Stoudemire.
It is Amari Stoudemire.
Oh my gosh, you got it. Nice.
I should have got it the first time.
Him and Amber Rose were a thing?
Yeah.
That one was a Kevin question.
Mm-hmm.
And we did fact check that, and yes, briefly, when he was in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Dang. Cool.
Yeah,
all right, well, that's Ottle.
Him and his wine baths and all of that stuff he had going on.
His
Which,
wine
by the
bath.
way, he is an absolute king. I think it's over in Jerusalem where he played.
Yeah.
Shout out Stat.
By the way, speaking of Suns legends, do you want to know who's in China right now? Sean Marion.
Oh yeah, I saw the tweet when I was
Matrix
posting
in
on
China.
Twitter. Yeah.
Oh,
Shout out
nice.
Matrix. Yeah.
Did Aiden get any points? I don't think so, Aiden.
You guys were kind of quick that round. I
Yeah,
wasn't
we
able
kinda
to keep up with
destroyed
the
him.
chat.
Kind of destroyed all of you.
I should have got the Sean Marion, or I should have got the Amari Stoudemire one the first time.
I did. I'm not really super up to date.
Who Shannon
Aiden
Brown?
says Monte Morris definitely dated Amber Rose. Are we sure about that?
I'm not usually too versed in people's.
I don't know. You
dating.
got that one pretty.
I got that one on the second try. I had to think back for a minute.
Ayrton, can you fact check? Can you look up Monte Morris Amber Rose relationship?
Shannon Brown was dating Monica, and that's what I had in mind.
Aiden says Monte
Yeah.
Morris dated her, and I said it before he said Amari. Okay, but dude, the hint was the guy averaged 21 points per game in his son's career. That ain't Monte Morris, dog.
In points or minutes, unfortunately for Monte.
Monte Morris dated Amber Rose.
Aiden is correct. Monte Morris did date Amber Rose, but he did not average 21 points and 9 rebounds as a Phoenix Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden said, well, I said it before that. But it doesn't count. It's not the player, Aiden. It's not the player. Oh, well, that's going to do it for a really fun.
What's the updated score now?
I think you have 11
to
and I
4?
have 4.
It's 11.
I'll take 11-4, a lot better than 8-0.
We played how many rounds? 7 rounds? 8 rounds now?
We played now 8 total rounds.
8. Okay.
Well, if you want more Ottle, if you want more fun games, and you, of course, can hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. We'll have even more content for you coming out later today, talking about the NBA GM survey at length. Stephen and I broke it down, video, audio form, coming out later tonight. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you rate us 5 stars on audio, and tell a friend. If you have a Suns fan who doesn't know about us, or tell your friend to tell a friend, we are a super fun place to talk about basketball, especially your Phoenix Suns. And we know that not every single Suns fan knows about us or is in here. So we'd love if you could spread the word and help us out. That's a crazy comment, Dagoon. If you are live in chat, we appreciate you. YouTube after the fact, we appreciate you. Audio, we appreciate you as well. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 a.m. for a watch along for Suns Nets tip-off in China. And then we'll have a post-game show right after that, delivered to everybody's inbox, audio-wise, of course, live here on YouTube. In the meantime, you can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. You can follow the creator of Ottle, a.k.a. Ol Slackerton, a.k.a. Fisherton, a.k.a. Ol Mangletoes, a.k.a. the Juice Man, a.k.a. Ayrton, at Freckled Mamba, of course, the best nickname of it all. And you, of course, follow this guy right here at Stephen PG3. That's Stephen with a PH because he balances us out. And boy, do I need it. I need it real bad, especially with what the Merc have going on right now. But of course, you will be covering that series. You'll be covering a game tomorrow night after waking up with us, although that's the normal time that you wake up. Anyway, but until next time, PHNX Dating Show will be coming at you live tomorrow morning.
We all silly like the mayor.